On the bench here we have a NDI PC-200. This is a new old stock radio. Got the box down here and here's the insert and all the original paperwork that came with it, all the other stuff, you know, power cord and all that still in its sealed little bag. So yes, it's definitely a new old stock radio. Customer got this and just basically wanted it gone through and had an alignment done. Main thing, having all the electrolytic capacitors changed. Now these, very important. Now for starters, when I tested it originally, output power on AM was right around 4 watts, so it was right about where it was supposed to be. But modulation would only go to about 10 watts peak to peak, and it was horribly boxcarred at that point. I mean, it was just nasty looking. I did nothing more than change the electrolytic capacitors in this. I rechecked it before I did the alignment on it, and modulation was dead nuts on. I mean, I didn't even have to adjust the AM power. Well, actually, I did have to turn it down a little bit, because after I did the alignment, the power was up a little bit too high. But, you know, modulation was set perfectly. So, yeah, it definitely had some caps that were going bad. Now, they don't need to be changed for that reason, you know, degradation in performance. Of course, everybody wants them to perform as good as they can, but the main reason we want to change them in a radio like this is double-sided circuit board. And it's an early double-sided circuit board. So you see all of that exposed copper down there. And what's known for happening in this style of radio, a lot of these bigger capacitors will start to leak. The electrolyte leaches out onto the circuit board down in there where all those copper traces are, and just eats them right off of the board because it's very corrosive. So all of those have been replaced. You know, you can't ask for the radio to be in any better condition because it's new old stock. Probably late 70s. Yeah, because what do we got? There's a 1976 date code on the final. There's a 78 right there. So late 78, 79, 80, somewhere around there. It's late 70s, early 80 radio. Actually, this is a low serial. Not that they made many of these. I have 2 of these myself. Neither of them are brand new, but they're in very good condition. But this is serial number 000947. So here's the back side of the board. Now, something you may or may not have noticed, this radio probably looks very familiar if you've watched any of my other videos. These radios are basically the same. I say basically because there are some differences, but for the most part the circuitry is all the same as a couple of the Craig radios, Johnson Messenger Viking, what was that, the 4730 and 4740, of course the NDI, and another one of their models, like a Tram D64, some of the Pace, SB, console, God, I can't remember what the hell was that, console, no, it wasn't 5.6, I think it is. Differences though, and I've pointed this out in other videos, basically the same radio. Some of them, however, are mirror images of each other. So this one has the PLL can on the left-hand side, relays on the right rear. On the other radios, like the Vikings, 4740, if you watch those videos, you'll see the PLL can is over here. The relay is over here. Actually, all of the parts are just swapped. It's literally like holding a mirror and looking at it in a mirror image. The parts are just, everything's mirrored on the board. Don't know why they were like that, but very good working radio now, has good reception. Going to be the same as all the other radios have done, so really no need to bore you with measurements that are just going to be the same as all the other radios I did. I just wanted to show this. It is a brand new radio. So actually, let me put the cover back on it, and I'll show you actually one other rare feature that's on this that you don't see on a lot of those other radios, or actually any other radio for that matter. So let me get her put back together really quick. And here, excuse me, here it is all back together now. You can see the cover's definitely brand new. Absolutely not a mark on this thing. So he's got a really nice radio here. But anyhow, one of the additional little features, standard controls, nothing special about controls or anything. Multi-function volume squelch control, RF and mic gain, clarifier, mode switch, CBPA, A&L, noise blanker, and channel 9 emergency switch. But the one little additional thing this has is something you don't see on very many radios. Very, very few of them. Automatic dimmer. This is another one of those rare radios that has a automatic dimmer, which is nice. Because I'm one of those people, I don't like being blinded in my vehicle by stuff inside of the car. I can't stand bright stuff. I'm one of those people that keeps the dash lights turned down rather far. That way I don't get night blinded. And the radio is nice because it has that. That way, the darker it gets out, so, I slowly bring my finger in here, the intensity slowly goes down. So it's you can see it's variable. But nice little feature. So there you go. I just wanted to do a really quick video on this to show this. You don't see many of these. There's not a lot of them around. They didn't make many of them. It's a shame because they're nice radios. Like I say, it's basically the same chassis as all the other radios I rambled off there in the beginning. So they have a nice look to them. A little bit different texture on the knobs, so they're not your the same exact look as everybody else's radio. They actually went with a little bit different knob design, and I think they look nice on the radio. Looks it's a good looking radio, and these are nice deep radios too. Older radios, big components. So yeah, it may be a room hog. Width and height wise about the same as your standard radio, but depth, yeah, these things definitely got some. You need binoculars to see the back end of this thing. So there you go. There's just a quickie preview of a NDI PC-200, and just in case anybody's interested, there's the original box for it, and all of the paperwork and everything, and the foam inserts. And actually it cost, it's on the radio bag itself. Where is it? Right there. Way back in the day. $179.95. That apparently was the going price for it back then. I'm just curious if there's a print date on any of this. Maybe the owner's manual. Nope. No date. Just made in Japan. Yeah, that's back when the good radios were made over in Japan. I don't really see a date on any of this stuff. Other than the temporary, you were applying for your FCC license back when you needed one. It would have started with a K. That was already pre-filled in. But there you go. The NDI PC-200.